Hey, everybody. Kentucky Ranger. Mama. Anna. Little critter. It's been a hot minute since we've been doing one of these. This was a special one because it's Mama's 85th birthday.
Yay! I made it.
And the cake we got, they could have done a little bit better on the...
That looks fine.
It's okay. It's healthy cake though. It's carrot cake.
Carrot cake, yeah.
I'm so confused what's around the things.
I don't know.
See.
It does look caramely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there. Now everybody can see the carrot cake.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Pretty healthy cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the art of editing. Go back. So these are all the cards you got? Anna didn't get her card.
I just
Corey
That's
didn't
all
get her
right.
card.
That's okay.
Holland didn't get her card. Me and
It's
Shree got her.
okay.
Me and Shree and Carla got her card.
Yeah.
So the first one
She
is
got a card.
this one. Yeah, this one's cute. Mom. She hasn't even opened her other one.
Here is.
Oh, hold on. One thing at a time. One thing at a time.
It's your birthday.
Oh, no, wait.
It is-
He's showing that the pink
Oh.
one first.
Oh.
Yeah, you're cutting to the chase.
Okay.
A little too quick. Here, there you go. Do that one.
You already did.
Yeah, but you have to read
You
it.
gotta read it.
Well,
The folks on the other side of the phone want to hear.
it says,
Right
when I think of
there.
all the love, warmth, and tenderness you always share so generously, I feel so glad to have you for a mom. Happy birthday. Love you forever and a day. Hugs and kisses.
No. Cute.
It's hers. Okay.
Now
this is-
mine are always sentimental and serious.
It's your birthday, and as the Scotty
Scotty Swirl.
Squirrel
Scotty's a squirrel
would say, oh, that's cute. You're not old as long as you can remember where your nuts are. Happy birthday.
It's true.
That's a good one. That's a good
He's a good squirrel.
one.
Here we go. Always remember
Children's
Scotty's
birthday.
words of wisdom.
Yes.
You're never too old as long as you remember where your nuts are at. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
It is.
It is
That's
funny.
a quality
Thought it was
birthday
cute.
card.
It's
Yes.
funny.
So anyhow, 85 years.
Oh, goodness. I wanted to talk about the change
Well,
in
first,
my life.
first,
What?
we gotta sing happy
Oh, we got
birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it's not. Let's sing it. Ready? Me, 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 me. Come on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Mama.
Grandma.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
And many more.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to
Okay,
you.
that train wreck.
May you always. How's that go?
Well,
God.
every day. Well,
Lord have
that's
mercy.
gonna keep me up tonight. I can't. Hold on.
It's okay. Did you want cake now or?
Every day
No,
of
we do
your
that
life,
for
may
video.
you find
People-
Jesus
this
here.
isn't a
Happy
mukbang
birthday
video.
to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. And the best you've ever had.
Child.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Mom always wanted to talk about a few things. Although if you're familiar with Mondays with Mom, we've spent, 2 years talking about stuff in your past, but you want to bring up a few things.
I want to sum up.
Well, yeah, I mean, the changes that I've had in my life,
Yeah.
Come on.
Definitely.
whether I was born in 1936, Roosevelt was the president.
Which one?
Franklin. Franklin.
She don't go back to Teddy Roosevelt. She's not that old.
I ain't that old yet. So,
My bad.
yes, you are.
Sorry.
Did you take history in school?
I did.
So
Okay.
you were born about the time Depression was almost over. It's still going on.
Yeah, it was still going on because my mother worked for the rich people scrubbing floors to get food for us.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I remember her going doing that. But just think about it when I was little, we had no electricity. I mean, there was electricity, but only in
it's not
the
that-
big
In the
cities.
Yeah, it's not that the power was out your house.
No.
You didn't have electricity.
We didn't
period.
have electricity.
Yeah.
We did not have running water. We had outhouses.
Hey, her mom still had an outhouse when I was a kid.
Yeah,
For years, yeah. I
and
remember it.
we had oil lamps
Yeah.
that we had to burn to see at night.
Yeah.
And
Things a lot of people are freaking out when they lose power. They're like, oh my God,
was
I can't live like this. She lived like that.
Yeah,
Her mom
and
had a
it
pot-bellied
does-
stove
Yeah, the pot
when,
bellied stuff.
when we were kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
it see stuff like that doesn't bother people that are in my age group.
Well, even me and Sheree we come from enough that far back to where, like, when the power goes out or if we lose our internet, it's like crap. But that's it. It's not the end of the world.
No, because
No,
we've
because
been
Kids
listening
like
and stuff.
Anna, and especially Holland, when they lose their internet, it's like the end of the world.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like, oh my
Well,
I
God.
don't have my
Well,
phone.
I tell you what though, if all your assignments like are on Zoom and stuff,
I was getting ready to say
That'll-
that's one
yeah.
thing. The reason younger kids and a lot of people lose their minds is because
they depend on
we
it.
do
so,
everything, like
yeah.
our banking. We pay
Oh, everything,
bills.
yeah.
Right.
Everything. A
Uncle,
lot of things we do on the
come
internet.
on, you gotta get down. You're
So
just
yeah, when we lose it,
offended.
you know, me and Sheree, it's like, man, crap. But to her, she's got stuff that she can't do it if she doesn't have an internet connection or a smartphone.
Yeah.
But if you wonder where did we get our water from, most people had wells.
Well,
You had a rope hooked to a bucket and you
Yeah.
drop it
yeah,
in the
drop it
well,
down
and
in. Yeah.
roll it in.
Actually, that water was pretty good. And another thing,
Yeah, but even
they
rich
all
people,
drank out of the same dipper,
Yeah.
and nobody ever thought about it.
But even
sharing the same dipper
rich
back then.
people, city water wasn't a thing back then. They had what was called cisterns, which was huge water tanks, and they collected rainwater off their big houses.
We had a
Yeah.
cistern
And-
years ago.
Yeah, and the way that worked, they had a bucket pump, and it was this elaborate pump. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. But it's got little buckets, and when you cranked it, the buckets would rotate
The
and
little
go
teeny
down a
buckets,
chain.
and the buckets would pick
Yeah, and the
water
buckets
up.
would pick the water up and dump it off. Of course, later on, when the house got electricity, they put a water pump in. But as far as city water,
They lived
Right.
in a place one time where they had to have the water hauled in. They had
yeah,
to pay to have that water.
Yeah.
hauled. And I went up one time to use the bathroom, flush the toilet, and the water was out apparently, and the pump needed
yeah,
primed,
yeah.
and it sounded like the whole underneath of the house was going to explode.
Back in what was that 2000 when I had that house built, it was out in the country, and it had a cistern, and we had to have water trucked in
Yeah.
about every couple
I
of
guess
weeks.
there's
The
still
guy
a
had
lot
to
of people
come.
who
And,
has it.
oh yeah, when you're off the city grid,
Yeah.
yeah, we still septic systems, wells. A lot of people would just dig a well, but nowadays with all of the contaminants and stuff, that's
Yeah.
kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
But anyway, when we would catch the water when it would rain and use that water to wash clothes.
Mhm.
And we did not have a washing machine. We washed
Big wash
clothes with a washboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had a tub,
big tub,
big tub,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a wash tub and a
and
washboard.
yeah, and we had a clothesline. Of course, it wasn't me; it was the grown-ups that did it. But I experienced all of this,
No.
and we had no phones.
Mm-mm.
And I think I was maybe 14 years old when I seen my first movie.
Wow.
And I'll never forget the name of it.
No.
Bitter Rice.
Oh, Bitter, right? Yeah, we
I've
did
heard of
that
that
one of the
movie.
older videos.
And I never could eat rice after that because they were making out in the rice bed.
Oh, Lord.
What kind of a movie is this?
That's the
It's an
only
old
thing
movie.
I remember about it. It
Okay.
was the
It's like-
name of it.
One of them old Harlequin romance books made into a movie back in the 40s.
By the time
Yeah.
we come along in the '60s, she had an electric wringer washing machine that he got his hands
Yeah.
stuck
Oh, I
in.
thought that was you.
Almost
No,
broke
it
my
was
hand.
him.
That was
Oh.
me.
It was him.
I was goofing, running stuff through it, and got my finger caught, and it was right in. It hurt.
I'll never
Oh,
forget
it
that
hurt.
day.
'Cause
Yeah.
It got up to my wrist, and this wrist bone stopped it, so it went.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what she did, she freaked out. Instead of popping the release, she flipped the switch and reversed it. And sent my hand back.
I started screaming.
Oh, yeah, I was
He
screaming.
come
It
running
was
down the
just-
basement and found us down there, and his hand was stuck in the ringer.
Yeah, it hurt. I didn't break anything.
They didn't have
Really?
childproofing
No.
stuff back in them days. This
There
would
was
have
no
been what, about
childproof stuff. You learned, by
1966?
God. You-
Natural selection.
when something happened and you got hurt, you learned don't do that again.
That's caramel.
Hey, I
smell
stuck a
it.
knife in
gotta
a
be.
socket one time about electrocuting myself.
Yeah, you did.
They didn't have
Good
the
thing.
covers
No.
back then.
Thing
You
it had
know-
a wooden handle.
Some friends of mine are taking like foster classes. They wanting to foster, and they have to have covers. Like that's a
That
requirement.
is a requirement now.
You have to
Well, I
before they
was
bring in any
probably
kid.
9. And you remember the little birdie birds? I love birdie birds.
Yeah.
They took like a ton of D-cell batteries. And batteries back then were pretty expensive. It would drain them real quick.
Yeah.
Well, it died. She wasn't going to buy me any batteries. I got mad, so I stripped some wire and put two ends on the sides of the battery, and the other ends I tried to stick in the socket, light socket, to charge the battery. I mean, yeah, and boom!
You
I
know,
was like, no. But see, that's one of them deals. It happened once. I survived. And I
Yeah.
learned not to do that
Don't
again.
do that
you,
no more.
how old were you?
About 9, 8,
Honestly,
9 years
I
old.
think that was a pretty smart thought though to try that.
Well, yeah, I thought, well, if I can't get any new batteries, I'll charge this one.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
remember what the
I didn't know the
first car-
difference between AC and DC current, or the fact that 110 volts or 120 volts wouldn't exactly charge a 1.5 volt D-cell
Do you
battery.
remember what the first car was you ever drove or rode in?
I rode in a Model T.
Model T,
You-
whatever.
Did you have to crank
get
it?
it started, you had to go outside and crank it, and then it'd start, and you'd,
And you get Model T elbow if you didn't break
Yeah.
your arm.
yeah. It
They
When you
would-
go to crank,
they
if it would back,
Back far.
Mhm.
it would jerk the handle back, and if you didn't have your arm in the right position,
Yeah.
it would break your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you break your arm. That's another one of them deals. You do it once, you remember.
And you're-
While this arm's healing, you're trying to crank with your weak arm.
Someone,
You're
yeah.
like, I ain't gonna do that again.
And I'd like to talk about an ice box.
Oh yeah, the ice
Ice
boxes.
Lordy, Lord.
It was a little white thing. It looked like a refrigerator. You open the
Mhm.
door, and
You had a big cube ice.
but that was at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think they would bring the big
Yeah, the
cubes
ice
of
man.
ice
Yeah.
about once a week.
Hmm.
I think.
Throw it
I-
in there.
Yeah.
There was guys that done that for a living. That's all
Yeah.
Well,
they
they
did.
delivered ice. They delivered milk.
ice. Yeah.
Yeah, milkman.
Also milk. Yeah.
Actually,
when
it
I
was
was
the
a
dairy
kid, we
man
still
because
had the
they
milkman.
delivered milk and cheese and
Yeah.
Butter.
And also bread. You could buy bread
Yeah.
at the bread man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember them bread trucks.
yeah, went
that-
directly
Yeah.
from the farm right to the front door of your house.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
The glass bottles that you take the empties and sit out. You had little aluminum boxes you sit out on your porch.
You
Yeah.
With
leave
the
out the
empties.
bottle, and then
Yeah.
it was in glass.
Yeah, glass bottles, and they just
Mhm.
brought you.
that's a good like recycling.
Oh yeah,
program.
it was.
Yeah.
Can't get much fresher
Oh
than
my
right
gosh,
from the
that
farm.
was the best milk.
Oh yeah.
Milk
Another thing,
don't
that's
taste
another thing
like
is
it
you had
used
the
to.
choice of getting it either homogenized or raw. 'Cause back
I love
then,
raw milk.
yeah.
Hmm.
That
Granted,
is
it's
good.
not the safest, but I don't,
Back then, it wasn't that unsafe.
No,
Maybe
it
now,
was, yeah. Somehow.
And them old little country stores we used to go to,
Oh yeah,
they weren't like these big grocery
No.
stores now. And they all had that same smell.
yeah.
I
They
can't explain it.
Okay, did Creatures
probably
have that
cedar
smell?
chips.
Yeah.
IGA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the same smell.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
That's like they used
Not
to
a
have
bad
big
smell, it was a good
porches with
smell.
chairs and stuff. Everybody'd sit out and shoot the crap because we didn't have internet back then.
He didn't have air conditioning either.
But loafers.
No.
Are you talking about like loafers? Like people just get
You
around?
can call it loafing,
Yeah.
just whatever you want to call
Yeah.
You know
it.
what? I think we were teenagers before we ever had air conditioning.
Yeah,
oh my God, it
'cause,
was we were up there.
We never had air conditioning when we were
No, not
No.
until we went to Utah, and we had,
And we
We
had
had
swamp
yeah, we had
coolers.
swamp coolers.
coolers.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
nobody around here would know what that is.
that's for my first ordeal with air conditioning.
We had it on the roof.
That was
Yeah.
the
I
best
think I
kind,
saw
too.
some when I was out west. It seems like that I saw something on people's roofs.
Yeah,
It
they're
run
they're
over water.
evaporative
You
coolers,
had
but
a
they
water
nicknamed
pump.
them swamp coolers.
Yeah.
I
It
got a
had a
picture.
water
I'll
pump
show
that
a
got this
picture.
big, huge filter wet, and that's what run it. And you would open your windows and doors. You didn't want to close them.
Yeah, it was a big box
Big-
and it had
big
four big
fan.
pads and it had a little pump. And it would pump the water over the pads and it would suck the air through it and evaporation would cool the
Yeah.
air and it worked.
That was
You
in the
keep the
70s
door
when we
open.
first got
That's
that.
Yeah.
what was
That's
so
actually
nice.
Yeah,
like
that's
really
another
smart.
thing. Yeah, if you wanted your room to cool off, you crack the window in your bedroom.
Wherever those
Mhm.
windows were open, they,
Yeah, the breeze would come
Breeze
through
would
and
come
cool
through
it
there.
off. Yeah, it worked.
yeah, it
Of
worked.
course, it
But
only
you can't
works.
use it if there's any humidity.
Yeah,
Right, that's what I was about to say. The humidity
Yeah,
has to be really low.
further south and east you go,
It wouldn't
won't
work here.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
It was interesting when I went to Vegas. We had took an Uber. We were going to the sign, and he was like, "Oh, where are y'all from?" and stuff, and we said Kentucky, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've been out east that way like once," and he said like he's so used to that dry weather
Oh yeah,
that when he stepped out, he's like, "What's on my arm?"
Sweat.
Like
Yeah, it's called
it's-
sweat.
or like just all the humid stuff. I forget
yeah.
what state it was. He said, but it was eastern,
When
United
we
States.
first moved
but-
back here, it took a long time. Everything, everywhere you go around here smells like a musty basement. To get used to
Oh
it.
yeah, till you get used to it, it's then.
Never had sinus issues out in Utah. When we moved back here, that's all I got, sinus issues.
I got a bloody nose out west because the
yeah,
air's
because
dry.
it's dry. Yeah,
Yeah.
Your sinuses. Yeah, I got bloody noses because your sinuses are real dry.
How
Yeah.
old were you when you first got TV?
First time I seen TV, I was about 14.
That'd be 36, 46, 50, 1950?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I read a thing when TV actually first come out, but there wasn't that many people that had them. They couldn't afford them.
Oh Lord, no.
Now we had a radio, and I'll never forget. Every Saturday, they would let me listen to the Grand Ole Opry,
Yeah.
and
That was popular back then.
oh, Lonzo and Oscar and Minnie Pearl, and
Yeah.
that's when they were all
Ernest Tubb.
yeah. And I would
Grandpa
sit there and
Joe.
laugh.
That's back when radios were as big as a compact car.
You know, a lot
Yeah.
of people
No,
now
they-
don't.
the one I had is
So
table.
tabletop.
Yeah.
And then big console radio. One thing, well, even the tabletop radios, where they're made, man, they pull signals in from 1,000 miles away.
And a lot of people probably have never heard of those old radio shows that used to be on.
Oh yeah.
People were really entertained.
Plus they
The
signed
Shadow
off.
Knows.
Plus
and
they signed off at 6
Burns and
p.m.
Allen and
So you got to listen to radio all day, but at 6 p.m. they play the national anthem and signed off.
well, TV
Yeah,
was that
nothing.
way
Yeah,
too.
TV was that way
Even when
too.
we were kids,
Yeah,
even in
everything
the
was off.
70s.
Yeah.
That
got
it would
the
end
thing.
at a certain time, and it had that pattern,
Yeah, it had test pattern.
and it would end with the national anthem,
Yeah.
and then that test
Or
pattern
the
would
crying
come on.
Indian dude with the
Yeah.
Oh, I
remember
forgot
with
about
the littering
that.
dude. Well, no, I
Yeah.
don't think that was a sign off. That was just a commercial. But I think they had one with the Indian dude, and they was playing the national anthem.
And it would sign off till the next day.
Funny
What-
fact,
what
though, is that Indian guy from all those PSAs wasn't actually an Indian. I think he was Italian. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
Yeah, he was Italian, but he looked just like
But
an Indian.
Okay.
You figured it out.
And TV wouldn't come back on till what, about 6, 7?
6, 7 o'clock.
in the
Yeah.
And
morning?
then they started in with late movie, which that
You
took
got
to 10
anything to
o'clock.
say? Oh,
No.
you
You have any
know,
questions about?
do you remember anything that you first seen?
She's just now seeing things.
What about TV?
The
She
first
has-
show I saw was probably WKYT News.
She
Do you
doesn't even
remember
know when you
Mr.
talk
Frost?
about black and white TV. She's like, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Are
we
you
did-
old,
That's TV without color.
are
Yeah.
you
My
old enough to
dad-
remember the Mr. Frosty
And
ice
she's
cream truck?
talking.
Oh, yeah.
She's telling something.
Me and my dad, not really me, my dad, he has this raider in our backyard or either somewhere. And because we have two, and there was like a big snowstorm that day, and the snow trucks could barely do anything with the snow.
No.
So my dad got in his Jeep, went to the store, not Jeep Raider, went to the store and back just perfectly fine.
Well,
Nothing.
well, cool.
And
I
One
spent all,
time-
what was it, last week taking everybody to work and back because nobody could get out.
Well,
You're not talking about this last snowstorm, are you?
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Any one
Anyway.
time
One
I
time.
stepped on a bee. My
Ow.
foot swelled up like this big,
Oh goodness.
and I jumped off my porch. I twisted my ankle.
Ooh.
Like, not
Yeah.
really. I just twisted it, not broke it, just twisted a bit. And I broke this toe. It's still a bit sideways. And I still don't wear shoes. I go outside barefooted
He said,
when
"You
it's
ain't learned
snowing,
your
The bees
They
will be
still
out
don't wear
again
shoes.
soon.
and I don't wear shoes. Like, even in ice, just snow, ice. I
Lord have
walk on
mercy.
snow just to get a snowball, barefooted, with ice on the ground.
Oh goodness.
That's how you get frostbitten.
Oh yeah.
That's how you
I
get
Then
haven't
you
gotten
lose
frostbit
your whole
once.
foot.
Now,
Oh.
back like where you live, because I've been where you're from originally.
Yeah.
I
What?
took her to Saltville, Virginia.
Especially
Yeah,
like
Saltville, Virginia.
back in those days, like if you have broken your foot, who like it's not like you could go to the Appalachian Regional Hospital or UK or
Oh
He's a
yes,
local doctor.
we had a
Yeah.
hospital.
you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
She's
figured.
not that old.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, but like where Dad's from, they didn't have nothing like that up at whatever ridge it was he's from.
Well,
I go Ridge. They didn't have nothing like that.
Yeah, it's in Kentucky.
well, then he had traveling doctors.
They
Yeah.
He'd
were
call the
still
doctor and
making
he'd have
house
to come
calls
out
when
in a
we were
horse and
little.
buggy
The
or a
doctors.
car, clunky car.
The doctors would come to your
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Up until about 1960.
I don't know. They were still making house calls when I
Three.
was little.
Yeah.
No, it was later now.
Was it?
Because I can
Nobody
still
even
remember
wants to be a
making house
doctor
calls
anymore.
when I
You
was
got
little.
nurse practitioners.
Yeah.
It's sad because a lot of people that want to be doctors don't want it when they find out that 3/4 of their salary goes into malpractice insurance.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they spend a lot of money on malpractice insurance.
Yeah.
It's like
If they
if they
get one-
screw up,
Yeah, even if they don't, if it's one of them deals and it goes to court,
yeah,
they're done.
yeah.
Even with insurance, they're done. So,
Anyway, that's the story of my
That's
life.
is that it?
Yeah.
You're not going to talk about your AM radio?
This is a transistor radio.
I
That was
remember those
mine
first
when I was
transistor
little.
radios. I've seen them.
Wait, was this mine or
Yeah.
okay? I was
That was
Yeah,
listening.
yours.
back in
Did
the
I steal it
60s
from
they
you?
came out.
Yeah.
First it was a transistor radio,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
then they would have 2 transistors.
When you would have been just a kid, they had went from the 78 RPM records to vinyl, but they weren't the vinyl LPs like the flimsy kind.
No.
They were stiff.
Well,
Remember? They were almost made out of the same material
Well,
as 78s, but
ain't
they were a
this
little bit
stiff?
different.
yeah.
Ain't this stiff?
No, No, the ones I'm talking about are
I mean, this doesn't seem
It's a
very.
disc
that's one of
with
my older
grooves in it.
LPs.
I mean, this don't seem like.
Keep talking.
Let me see
No,
if I can
that's
find
not. Yeah, they were stiff.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a record
it's,
player right over there.
I think they were made out of vinyl, but it was a hard vinyl.
Yeah.
It would have been in the
Is that? Let me see that. Let me see. No, keep. Oh gosh.
Well, folks.
That
Is
is
that-
cool. Look at
That's
that.
it.
Baby,
All the
it's
Beatles.
you.
This sucker would be worth a lot of money.
I don't.
Probably.
Baby, it's you. You've got what I need.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Anna, I didn't know they had a song about me.
Well,
What
Anybody
else
know what
was
that's
years
worth?
They kept getting thinner and thinner by the time the 70s
introducing the
rolled around.
Beatles. Good lord, that's is that like their first album?
It says introducing. It's like when
Yeah.
they first came out.
Wow.
I think.
Was that,
DJ.
when was that, in the 50s?
Well, it's even in the sleeve.
Yeah.
See how
Yeah, the year?
Whoops. Does it not
pretty
have
good
a year?
shape. 63.
Wow.
63.
Yeah, they scribbled it on
The
here.
year you was born.
Yeah,
Wow.
63.
Yeah. There they are, all of them.
Are
The
all
Beatles.
Well, look at that. We're millionaires. Yay.
wouldn't get rid of it for nothing though.
Lord, no. That's pretty cool. I didn't know you
I
had
mean,
that.
well, I didn't either. I just now saw
Oh,
it pull it.
there's a bunch of records in here.
Y'all know that vinyls are like coming back, right?
Yeah, but stuff like that, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Anyhow, there's the Beatles. This is turning into record talk.
Excuse me, my.
I've got one in there
Do
somewhere.
we even
but
have
it
a
took
record
while to
player?
find
Oh
it.
yeah, there's a
Yeah,
record
we
player
got.
over there.
We have
Cool.
2 record players. We got that one and that one's mine.
Anyway, in the
Cool.
50s, the LPs weren't like they were like in the 60s and 70s
Oh,
because
no.
they got
They were
flimsy.
thicker and
They were
stiff.
stiff, almost
Yeah.
like the 78s.
Yeah.
The thing that the record player, whatever they call it, had a crank. You'd crank it.
We had 7/8 were made out of was it Melmac or what was that called?
I don't know, but they'd break.
They'd break, they'd shatter.
I had one break in my
I'm
hand.
talking
Yeah.
about the thing that played.
Well, yeah, the old Victrola machines. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could crank
Crank
them.
'em.
They had
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she
great
was
big
little.
spring inside.
Hmm.
And if that spring broke, you were done.
Yeah.
That sounds fine.
But
Yeah.
we used to sharpen the needle with a
Potatoes,
potato.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jab them in the potato.
They'd work.
And that worked.
Yeah.
Huh.
As far as fidelity, even a brand new record, when you put it on it,
Oh, they were horrible. Yeah.
but I don't know. Still cool the way
Yeah.
things have come
Do you
along.
remember in the 70s, I'll never forget, I was watching this show, and this guy was talking about this future of Laserdisc and how
Yeah.
LPs were going to be obsolete, and I'm like, no way. And
Yeah, I
it wasn't
remember
that,
that.
it was in the, by the mid 80s, they were obsolete.
Yeah,
But
I
you
was trying to
wanted
think. Probably, yeah. 1990, I think was the last I bought an LP.
And they first had come out
I
with
had a
these
very
laser
expensive
discs that
turntable.
looked like a
don't even
big
know what
giant
happened to
CD,
them.
but they were video. Remember that?
yeah, laser
They never
disc.
could get the bugs out of them, and they'd freeze up.
Well, they finally did because what happened with Pioneer is they were using an actual industrial laser, and it was overheating. The circuit board was
It
overheating.
was awful.
But
We
what
traded
made
it in
them-
3
what-
times, and it would
Yeah.
not work.
But what killed Pioneer Laserdisc was RCA came out with what they call it, a video disc,
I remember
and
that.
it was awful.
And it was like
It was
encased
an
in
analog.
this big.
It was an analog record.
Yeah.
It stunk, and
It
people
was
thought
horrible.
video disc, and they thought, oh, I don't want one of them. Well, they were 2 completely different formats, but it didn't matter. And then VHS and Beta came out, and
Yeah.
The Beta
The rest
got
is
knocked
history.
down.
yeah, even though it was a much better format.
Then the VHS.
Oh, much better
Yep.
format.
By the
I
mid,
heard-
was it the mid 80s? The DVDs, the little DVDs come out.
Okay.
No, that was mid '90s.
Oh,
I was
is
gonna
that
say,
what it was?
surely
Yeah,
the
that
goodness
was
80s
mid-90s.
didn't have.
Because I got a Philips CDI machine, and it had Philips
Come on.
the video. I had to get a friggin' circuit thing that plugged into the back of the machine. Well, actually, it was like a card that slotted into it. You could play their video discs, and it was like half hour per disc. So if you had a full-length movie, it would take 3 or 4 of them discs.
Can't get her.
It's
Plus, it was
She's wanting that.
just the,
Let me
I
scoot
can't
back.
think of what video format. Sure wasn't HD.
Okay, come on.
So now, from the time that she was born until now, it's amazing.
now
the change.
you just-
Now it's just digital.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Everything's
it
just
is.
went
click
digital.
on your smart TV and
Well,
you watch whatever you want.
Yeah, you don't even need
No.
direct TV
In
or
fact, you
nothing.
can go on Amazon and order digital copies of movies and albums.
Yeah.
Never own a physical copy,
Yeah,
and every
right.
time you log on to your Prime account, it's there.
Well, I bought a movie on YouTube once.
Yeah, I mean it's
Well, even
That's
when
where
we
we're
were
at.
kids, that they didn't have remote controls for TVs. They had the 4-mall TV.
yeah they had remotes.
Yeah,
Me
us.
and you, and Dad saying, "Okay, turn that to channel 3."
And had
Yeah, I had
a
about
knob
5
on
channels.
it.
Yeah, we had about 5 channels. We had
about 5. Yeah.
3 major channels, 1 or 2 local UHF channels.
And then in the 80s, they came out
PBS.
with that big, huge, giant satellite dish.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
I'm even trying to help you get her up there.
Oh, and
A
what was that
person would
one?
be outside cranking it, and a person with their head out the window.
That's because Dad was too cheap to get the box. It was only like $50 more, where you just turn it. But oh well. And then,
Donald would be at the TV. My head was
Yeah.
out the door, and she was in the back cranking the
do
satellite
you
dish.
remember?
Just a little further.
Yeah.
Just no. You went
Oh,
too far.
yeah.
Back it up.
No, it's G5. I meant F7. Satcom. No, not Satcom.
We had walkie
Oh,
talkies.
yeah, we had.
Then we got
walkie-talkies.
walkie-talkies.
Oh, that's funny.
But then you remember they had a thing called Channel 1, and it was centrally located in Salt Lake, and it broadcast line of sight, and they put this little bitty dish on the roof of your house, and it was one channel. It's
I
called
don't
Channel
remember
1.
that.
I'm going to have to look it up and see if
I
I
don't
can find
remember that.
anything. But yeah, you paid through the nose for it, and basically it was like a movie channel that they played. That was it. Whatever was on, when you turned it on,
Yeah,
that's
that was-
what you had to watch.
We had one satellite channel. It was a news feed, and you'd go behind the scenes of the news channel when
Oh,
the
CNN, yeah, we got the
and there was
direct
this
news
Oriental
feed.
guy, and he was sitting there, a newscaster, and he was picking his nose.
Well, the same chick that night.
he didn't know he was on the
she
air.
was doing the news, and somebody stole the car.
Yeah, and she was watching them.
She was freaking
Yeah.
out. But then when they'd say, "Okay, we're back in 5," she'd get all recomposed. And tonight on CNN, and then as soon as the story, "Where's my car? Somebody call the police!"
That
Oh,
gone.
it was that was
It had a
funny.
big book, a big thick book on all of the satellite networks that we
And our
have.
favorite, what was his name? That
That
preacher
guy,
dude.
all he did was told
Wear a sailor
bureaucrat
hat.
jokes.
Yeah, he wore a sailor hat, and
He died.
did he
I
die?
found-
I
I
can't
found
think.
out
What
he
was his
died.
name? I'm gonna have to look him up.
I
We
cannot
used to
remember.
watch him all the time, Reverend something or another. But he wore a stupid
a-
sailor hat
Yeah.
and a captain's coat. I don't know if you thought he was the skipper or what he was, but he was funny. He was hilarious.
What was so funny is Mom, when once we got all of that aimed into the TV, she drew a line on this big pole.
Oh yeah, it took a marker and just drew it on the little post.
How far down does
Well, that
So-
would give you a general reference. So
Dad
get it
would
to
look
that.
on there, Marie, go change that
Yeah.
satellite
Satcom
net.
5.
Yeah, and she'd have to go out there and crank
What's
that
the other ones?
dish.
There was, I can't remember. It was like 5 or 6 satellites.
It was a bunch.
Yeah. But
These kids
Yeah.
have no clue what we're talking about.
No.
Lord, you
Well,
kids nowadays, but your internets and your
Oh.
craziness.
oh, there's a meme where people were talking about how Netflix, you used to have to rent
Oh yeah,
the
they would.
DVD. And
Yeah, you'd go online
tapes
and you'd
stuff.
order
Oh,
a
yeah.
movie, and they'd send you the
and
disc,
send
and,
it to you.
and then they wouldn't send you another one until you sent that one back. And if
Yeah.
you didn't send it back, they charge your credit card for the movie.
Right.
Yeah, and then I guess these kids now, like these 8-year-olds and stuff, are like, oh my gosh, I'm so old, the internet came in the mail. And it's like,
The internet came in the mail.
the internet came in the mail. Because I guess somebody was
Yeah, what
telling
was the
some
other
young
one?
kid.
There was Netflix, and I used to have the game thing. What was it called?
Do you remember what gas was? a gallon when you were a kid?
Oh, it was cheap.
10 cents a gallon or
Something
something.
like that.
It was
I
only
feel-
50 cents a gallon when I started driving.
I
That
feel
was
like I know what you're talking
I
1976.
can't think of the name of the country company. It's the same thing with Netflix, only it was games.
Yeah.
And you ordered the game, played it. If you didn't like it, send it back. If you liked it, you paid
Did
for it.
Blockbuster do anything like that?
They tried, but they were too late to the game.
Okay.
In fact, they tried with Redbox. They tried competing. It was too late.
I got an announcement.
No.
She's going to be 9 years old March the
yes.
1st, Monday.
Oh,
March
really?
the 1st.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
9 years old.
9
I'm
years
having
old.
my birthday like a week later.
Wow.
How old are you?
Oh.
58.
Close. I'll be 61.
Oh, well. We won't discuss age.
But that pretty much wraps it up.
Alrighty.
The changes. You
Anyhow.
know what? It amazes me when I see these people like is 100 and some years old. The changes they've seen in their
You ain't
lifetime.
kidding.
It's amazing what she's seen.
Yep.
It was
And if you
amazing.
haven't seen the series and you think it's cool, then go back. I've got this on a playlist. You can go back. We talk about for what, last 2-3 years.
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And some of the old videos are not as very good quality as they are now, but even still, it's cool.
Too
She
bad
tells
we don't
bunch
have
of
a picture of
stories
her in the 60s where she had a beehive
Oh Lord,
and a
yeah.
mini skirt and
Yeah.
go-go boots.
Yeah.
She
would
was
be
a
funny.
she was a look.
Yeah, oh yeah, she was.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, time to cut some cake, and
Yeah.
we've done kept y'all for almost a half hour, so
I might see you next year.
Mike, come
Oh,
on,
my
you're
gosh,
gonna
she
stay
said
Don't.
it'll be
next.
100.
You'll be here.
You're gonna be here a long time.
That's right.
Jim Buck says you
YouTube
better
says you're
be.
not going anywhere.
That's
Okay.
Anyhow, appreciate y'all hanging out. So we're gonna eat some cake.
Yes.
So God bless everybody. Hope y'all are doing good. If you're watching this and you're victims of that horrible snowstorm,
Oh my gosh.
it didn't hit us as bad as Texas.
The
Texas got
snow
it.
ice is what got us so bad.
Yeah.
I have a friend who lives in Texas.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
They all right?
His name's Preston.
Preston.
Well, I hope
Preston,
they're
hope
okay.
you're doing all right.
Yeah.
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 You, yeah.
Yeah, you.
If
If you're watching,
yeah.
we're praying
Yeah,
for you.
it's me.
It's me.
It's me.
It's me. It's me.
Right.
All right.
You'll have to let him know.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
So God bless everybody, and we'll see you on the next whatever we're going to do. I don't
Whatever.
Whatever.
know. Whatever happens.
All right.
Bye.
I can't wait for spring to get here. I start doing some growing stuff. It's
Oh,
just too
Hey, I
crazy
think that
out
we're
there.
gonna do our wedding in July.
July.
Yeah.
She's married, but they're going to have.
Well, we had a
actual-
COVID wedding, but I have
Yeah,
the
COVID
dress, so I'm gonna do the
That
big
dress
thing.
was so pretty. I
Well,
really like that dress.
Oh,
We
thank
have to
you.
see it
Wait,
now with
have you
sexy.
seen it? You did.
She
okay.
hasn't seen it
Me
with
and
that
my
thing
With the
underneath.
poof. Yeah, I got the poof thing to put under it.
cool. Stay
Me
tuned.
and my
We'll have some good
sister-
wedding stuff.
Came
Yep,
to
that'll be
New
our
Year,
next-
so we're having a-
Post-COVID wedding.
Post COVID.
Anyhow, take care and God bless. See y'all later.
Yes.
Bye.
Good. Bye. Yeah.
Yeah.